R2
with Oscar.
It is I that is back. I said it that way because I wanted to say it is. No, that's not what I wanted to say again. I forgot what I was going to say, but I wanted to say that I am back and we are. This is the thing. There's many things I enjoy talking about, and a lot of it is stuff I have no knowledge of and that other people are getting into, and if they're excited about it and they are informed about it, I want to know what they know and what they think of it, their opinion and how they're approaching it. And I guess one of the topics that it's really hot, if you want to put it that way, it's the NFTs. Now, here's the thing about NFTs. That's non-fungible token, right? That's what the kids are calling it these days. The kids, non-fungible tokens. I don't know anything about it, anything other than it's digital art that you could sell, and it could be very, very profitable. And where there's profits to be made, that's what I'm interested in about hearing. Now, we recently learned about the business of microgreens. We learned a little bit about that. And the gentleman who was talking to us about it, Josh, I was talking about it. He is involved in crypto but I wasn't. Did I ask him if he was involved in NFTs? I didn't, but I think I did. We brought it up. Now I don't know. I'm probably lying about it. I just don't know what. I don't remember. Anyways, so I want to learn about it, and I found my Calebkynard. Kynard. I hope I said it correctly. If not, I'm gonna have him correct me, and we'll have him join us, and we'll have a conversation about NFTs and whatever else he's into. And we are gonna allow our friend Calebkynard into the room to join us and have a conversation. Let's see.
How's it going?
Good. Yourself? I can see you and I can hear you well. Clearly. How about me? Can you see me and hear me good?
Yep.
All right. Awesome. All right. I'm going to let you go ahead and introduce yourself, and then we'll take it from there.
Like we're live right now?
Oh, we're not live. We're just recording, and then I'll post it up later on in the week.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll let you know. Yeah. I'll let you know when it's gonna go up. I know. I just jumped the gun real quick, right? My bad. My name's Oscar. Let me introduce myself. I should have done that, right? I haven't. You're good. I haven't been on it for like about a month. So I kind of lost my touch a little bit, but anyways.
No, man, I feel you.
So my name's Oscar, and I do this podcast R2 where I have conversations with people that have different opinions and different things, content creators more or less, that have different opinions and do different things, and they venture into different things, and they know more about it than I do, and I just want to hear how they do it, why they do it, and all that important information that one takes into consideration when picking a path to embark on.
Sure.
Like, yeah. If you understand what I'm saying. Anyways.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, one thing I like to point out though is I think you think that you know that we know more than you, but you're a content creator as well.
Well, I mean, I'm just piggybacking off of what everybody else is doing because I find it interesting. I mean, because we sit on our phones. At least I used to, and now I have things to do, so I don't have much time to. But I used to sit on my phone and just browse through it and enjoy the content and want it to be part of it. And there's not many things that I do that are maybe interesting, or maybe I don't find interest in, and it's not interesting, at least to me. So I don't feel like it's good enough for me to share for what I do, and so I find interest in what other people do, and that way that's how I'm looking for my niche. If that explains it more or less. So I'm gonna let you go ahead and introduce yourself, your name, what you do, and please mention all your social media links, your account, and everything else you got going on, please.
For sure. So my name is Calebkynard. I am an author, illustrator, and now NFT artist as well. My story is a bit different than most artists, I think. I'm in college right now, and awesome. For the first 2 years of college, I was on the basketball team here.
Oh, okay. Athlete.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I was an athlete, and that was really what my energy and my time was being put into. But after, during COVID really was the time where things kind of started to shift for me. I think a lot of people kind of felt that too within themselves in different ways. But I was sitting there and I was like, life isn't what I want it to be right now for myself. And eventually, I made the decision within like a day that I was going to quit the basketball team. And when I did, I mean, it was giving up a part of myself and a part of my history, but I didn't want to continue on that path anymore. And I mean, I went through after that a quick, depressive little state of like, what do I do now? So, just a lot of unfulfilled feelings. And it really took me a while to kind of figure out what I want to do. And, in this process, I got an iPad. I started, experimenting with some digital art programs. And, I ended up making a book, actually, a children's book for my little sister. And through that process, when I showed it to her, I was like, there's no reason why I can't actually publish this except for fear of judgment.
Right. And, I mean, that's the only thing. But I mean, that'll come whether you do something or you don't. You'll get judged but everybody, you'll get judged whether you do it or not.
Exactly. And what's most important, though, is that I don't live with regret because, I could sit there all day with, the thought of what if someone leaves a bad review on my book? Like it really matters, like none of it matters at the end of the day. And I ended up having to convince myself, like, if you, like, all I think, all I have to do is help one person in this process, and then it's worth all my time, all my energy. And when I really started to really like embody that feeling, I ended up publishing my book. And once I published my book, I kind of went on a little like, things started to snowball. All of a sudden I hear about NFTs and I do a lot of research on them. I tell myself, I'll get to them later, but it ends up being later was now. So, so here we are now, and I'm making NFTs. I'm illustrating books and writing books, talking to people, and yeah.
Awesome. Did I you didn't mention your name. I wanted you to say it because I wanted the correct pronunciation. I didn't want to be wrong. Did I say it right? Calebkynard?
Yeah, Calebkynard. Like, Calebkynard. I mean, you're saying it right.
Okay, no, yeah. I mean, I want to say how you say it, so I don't want to get it wrong. Yeah, that's interesting. Let me back up a little. Basketball. You said basketball. You didn't see a future in that while you were doing it, or what was that? What took you out of basketball?
So so here's the thing. I walked on to the school I'm at. I played at a Division II school. But even though I was walking on and things, I still had in my mind, like, I'm going to go play professionally, whether that's overseas, whether that's in the NBA or G League or something. Mm-hmm. I knew the whole time, like, my ambition and my work ethic will get me to where I wanted to go. It ended up not, but I ended up transferring that mindset. But I did see a future. For the longest, I was thinking I'm going to go overseas and I'm going to make money playing basketball. That's every basketball player's dream. And just throughout, eventually I realized that, like, I've always wanted to be more entrepreneurial and do just things my own way and pave my own path. And once I really started to realize that, basketball became more of just like a hobby.
Okay. So that's when you started seeing that this wasn't going to get you to where you wanted to be. So you just changed your path into being an entrepreneur. And now entrepreneur. let me back up a little to your book. You said you published a book. What's the name of this book, if we may know it?
So it's called Pluto's Big Adventure. It's about Pluto, the planet.
Okay.
Yeah, and essentially, a quick little story without giving up all the good stuff.
Okay.
Pluto is we all know Pluto, like this planet that's a dwarf planet, too small. So what Pluto's being told is, you're too small. You're not one of us from all the other planets. And Pluto kind of goes out on his own little adventure, and he ends up seeing the universe, which I kind of use as a reference to God. And the universe tells him, like, Pluto, you're perfect as you are. And kind of throughout that process, that was me telling myself that, really.
Awesome. This little fact. Did you know that Pluto hasn't even done a full around since like the 1800s? I don't even know how long it's been, because it takes like,
really?
I don't want to be wrong, but it takes over 300 years for it to do a full circle around the sun. So since modern times, Pluto hasn't even done a full turn since it's been discovered. That's when it was. Since it's been discovered.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's something like that. I could be wrong on the numbers of the days, but it hasn't, since it was discovered, it hasn't even gone around a full circle around the sun. That's crazy how far away it is from us.
That
too,
is crazy.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah.
But isn't it that they don't consider a planet no more? Isn't it just like, what do they consider it now?
I believe it now Pluto is called like a dwarf planet.
Oh, okay. Is that another category?
Essentially,
This
Pluto
has to be.
Yeah, just like a different category for smaller planets, I guess. I really don't know all the science behind it.
We're just assuming. All right, it's all right. No worries. Anyways, yeah. So the book is what you got now in the process of publishing it, or it's already out there.
Yeah, it's published on Amazon. The second I heard about Amazon KDP, for any like authors listening, they probably know about it. You can publish a book on Amazon for very cheap.
What is KDP? What is that?
It's so it stands for Kindle Direct Publishing. Essentially, like it's just a way to self-publish that really, I mean, you can order books from them if you want. You can do more of a drop shipping model if you want. I do more drop shipping than that, because that's just more my style, I guess. But yeah, the second I heard about that, I mean, in theory, for some people, it could be free to publish a book on there. For me, it cost about $70 just to have someone format it for me. And when I heard about that, I was like, there's no reason for me not to, because I knew, and this is something I'm still working on, obviously, but I knew that I can use social media to get people there, as opposed to, going through like a more traditional route and having a publisher. And I like being able to control my name, control my branding, and control my message of my book.
Yeah. That's the important thing, that you have control of your product, and you don't give it to anybody, because anybody else is just going to want to do what they feel is right. And then your book is not going to be your book no more. It's going to be whatever they decided that it was going to be, and it's not yours no more. Yeah.
And they'll do what they think will make money too. And I mean, for me, it's not about money. It's more about the impact, really.
The message.
That's what I never want to lose. I always want to keep, if at the end of the day, if someone doesn't like my book, that's okay. Like all I care about is the people that read it, and the kids that read it, and they get something from it.
Of course. I think that's the goal for all of us. And it seems like you have already passed that stage of worrying, like, what are they going to think about me?
Yeah. I mean, I think that a lot of artists, creators, and just creatives of all types have that, inherent like anxiety, for lack of a better term.
Imposter syndrome?
Like just, things like that. Like, am I good enough? Is actually, like, I'm thinking of making a podcast. Am I a podcast host? Like, but at the end of the day, like, you are whatever you want to be. Like, honestly,
Right.
I mean, if you write a caption on your Instagram, I think you're a writer. If you write something in your notes, then I think you're a writer. Creativity for me is really whatever you want it to be.
There's levels to where the pros are at, and there's the levels to where the people that want to be pros are heading to, and then there's the lower levels, or the beginners, of course.
There we go.
All right, that's better.
Zoom just doesn't like us.
It seems like it, right? It seems like it doesn't want to cooperate with us. Yeah, where were we at? Okay, no,
you're talking about
Oh, that there's levels, right? And that's where the fun is at, like the path and where you grow.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I'm noticing about this. I'm not claiming to be a pro, but I've been doing this since 2019, and I'm far from where I want to be. But I've enjoyed the process. And I mentioned imposter syndrome earlier, but that's because that's something. Even now, starting, I guess that's when it's worse, but it doesn't go away whatever level you're at, I guess. And do you think that's a healthy thing to have for at least for your mindset? Do you think?
I think it's something that's going to be there no matter what. I think even, like, whether it's healthy or not, I mean, it's always good to balance it with confidence, I guess, and almost in a way cockiness. Like, just like anything, everything's a balance. But with that being said, I mean, like, I published my first book and now I'm on to NFTs, and then boom, the imposter syndrome comes back. I mean, it's always gonna be there in just a different way. And what I think really is, it's more about understanding it and understanding why it's there and why you have those limiting beliefs and the thoughts of that I'm not good enough, I can't do this. And when you understand why, you can take the next step of really just ignoring it and being conscious of those voices in your head, and just still you're in control of them. They're not controlling you anymore.
Yeah, right before, because like I mentioned earlier as well, that I took a break from doing this. It wasn't I guess I took a break, but it was because I was moving too. So I used that as an excuse to why I stopped. But it's not an excuse, but it shouldn't be an excuse, I should say. But I use it as. But I noticed that they got to a point where I had completely stopped doing anything, where I was like, should I even start doing it, or should I even keep doing this at all? And I kept thinking of all the time that I've invested already, not to mention the money and some of the equipment that I already have, not to mention that. And that burden outweighed the thought of me quitting. And even as of yesterday, I was like, should I just pick something else to do? Because like I was telling my wife, I enjoy having this conversation. I have fun all the time. Every conversation that I've had with anybody that I've talked to, I've enjoyed it. There hasn't been a time where I'm like, I don't know about you. I don't really like you. There hasn't been that person, but the thought of not at least seeing if I can make some capital off of this, or make something out of it, at least, make something good out of it, then I don't want to live with what could have been if I would have kept going. And like I said, I started back in 2019. Like in December 2019, I remember the first day that I uploaded one. It was the December 3rd, but I started like a month earlier when I started recording. Oh man, it was bad. I'm not saying that it's any better now, but it was worse then. So I understand that I progressed now, because when I did my first recording, I recorded about 30 minutes worth of material, right? And by the time I was done with it completely, I think I had like 8 minutes, because there was so many and so a lot of silent moments, and and now that I'm 2 years into it, I've seen the progress. I've seen that now I can keep a thought going, and if that thought is done in my brain, I can transfer it to something else, and that's an ability that I've also. I mean, I'm not saying I'm an expert at it, that I'm also learning, but I know more about it now than when I started. And I just didn't want to live with that, with like, okay, I started that, I know that, and now I'm just going to keep doing my regular job. And that's what I was going to ask you earlier. What did you ever get to do a regular job, or you just from basketball to trying to look to be an entrepreneur, or did you do a regular job?
I mean, I'm in an internship right now.
Okay.
So I'm still I have an internship that goes actually for until this month ends. But after that, I'm looking to be really a full-time entrepreneur. But I mean, we'll see how that goes. if it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, it doesn't. Like you said, it's just enjoying the process.
Right,
Um,
right.
the way I see it too is that regret aspect is huge. I mean, I never want to regret something and like or look back and say, you know, I what if I was a month away of posting until my big break, or what if I was like 2 posts away from the one that got me seen from someone that needed to see it, and then
Right,
the person that saw it got me something that was going to make me $100,000 in another month or something. Like you
right.
never know what can happen. And the way I see it is, if you're willing to hustle and like just be like honestly ambitious about your goals, then I think the key is though you have to let yourself believe that whatever you're envisioning can happen. I think a lot of people don't think that. I think a lot of people think, you know, oh, people that are successful get lucky and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But
For sure,
with,
there's
with,
that.
with everything, yeah, I mean, with everything, like even if you want to, if you're getting your degree, you have to believe that you can get your degree.
Yeah,
And it's the same thing with being a content creator of any type. If you believe that whatever you're envisioning can happen, then you can make it happen.
yeah, definitely. You believe and put in the time for work.
Oh
Like,
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
because I mean, there's a group of people that they sit there and they say we believe that I can do this, but they're not putting in the work, and then they wonder what's going on. That why are they seeing any any profits on whatever their goal to attain is? You know what I'm saying?
And I think they have to be understanding of, you know, maybe for, you know, say you're a model or something, and you post on Instagram once a month,
I tried
like,
that.
and right. But there's people that think that that's a lot of work, and I think it comes with a degree of self-awareness to understand, you know, I am putting in work, but if I want to make this what I want it to be, and I want it to happen sooner rather than later, then I have to be posting 2 times a day, 3 times a day. Who knows how much, however much you can really, and
Yeah.
still maintain a good mindset.
Yeah. You know what? I will say that the modeling on Instagram and any type of content creation for social media, it it's really not hard work, but it's just consistent work. You know,
Hmm.
like
Hmm.
doing this when I didn't know anything, it would take me like I said 2 hours to fix 30 minutes just to upload it. It would take me that long because I didn't know anything about it. But now I could probably do it in less than an hour. I could probably prepare something in less
Hmm.
than an hour, depending on the recording or how long it is. That also depends. But like I said, 30 minutes it would take me 2 hours to do back when I started. Um, and the
But the key in my mind is that you loved it. You know, like as long as you, like you said, it's consistent work. So it's not necessarily hard work, but it's consistent, and you have to love it, and then it's not going to be hard, because if you love what you do, then it's just fun.
Yeah, yeah, and that's what I've always have had in my brain, in my mind. Find something that you have fun and that you enjoy doing, and the profits will come. I've had it
Hmm.
in my mind. I just never put it into play because I mean, at first when I graduated from high school, all I wanted to do was to drink and party. That was it. That was the most important thing for me. So school for me went out the window right after high school. I just get to work. That's it. And
Hmm.
I there's a part of me that regrets that, but there's a part of me that doesn't because those events had led me to who I am today. And I like to think that I enjoy who I am today. I just want to be in a better position, you know,
Right.
and who I was back then has put me in the path to where I want to go today.
Hmm.
And what I was saying is that it's I hate that I went through what I went through, but I also appreciate it.
Yeah, I mean, the process, like
Mm-hmm.
the way I see it, bro, is like, so right now I'm making a series called TikTok called like day. I think I'm on day 10 of working on NFTs until I'm financially free.
Yeah, I was gonna
And
get to
when I
that.
get to financial freedom, my mind's gonna go right to the next process, the next goal. And then when I get to whatever next goal, it's gonna go right to the next one. So
Mm-hmm.
like it's really in my mind just about enjoying the process of life, really. I mean, like, because everything goes from one thing to another to another to another, and it all like plays off of each other in unique and beautiful ways, honestly.
Yeah.
And when you really slow down and like look at what's happening around you, like you said, like, you know, looking back on your early videos and saying like, wow. I mean, I look back on my TikTok videos that I made last year on a whole different account.
I honestly don't even want to look at them.
It makes you cringe a little bit sometimes, doesn't it?
Even the new, I'm not saying like I keep saying, I know that I'm not where I want to be, but I'm progressing. And I know that if I look back into the old videos, then I would, like you said, I would cringe. And even looking at whatever I did a month ago, I cringe at now too, you know, because I feel like every episode I do, I take something in and it helps me grow inside. And that's when my imposter syndrome kicks in too. When there gets to the point where I'm feeling confident. Oh, I'm killing this. I'm talking to a lot of different people on a regular basis. And when I feel like I'm getting into the rhythm where I got somebody every other day to talk to, that's when my imposter syndrome kicks in. Something in me starts telling me, maybe you should stop doing this. This is a lot of work. It's getting to be too much. Maybe you're tired. Your regular job is just getting to you. All of those things start coming in my mind. And like I said, the last time it happened, I let it get to me. And that's why I kind of stopped doing it for for that long. I don't think I really needed to stop a month, but unfortunately I did. But the way I see it,
snowballs.
Yeah, exactly. But the way I like to see it is just like, if I drop there right there, I'm going to pick it up and just keep going from there.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's really how it is too. And people don't understand that as well. I mean, if I were to stop illustrating right now and I picked it up in a month, I mean, I didn't lose my skills. I just have to, like, it's like riding a bike, you know, you just have to find the rhythm again.
Exactly.
And like with imposter syndrome, I mean, like, it's always going to be there. And I mean, we all let it get to us at some point. I mean, like, there's been times where I go on breaks from posting anywhere, or I just go MIA for a little bit. And during those times, I'm sitting there knowing, like, why am I not posting? Why am I not making content? Why am I not working on something? And I think that's part of the process as well, though. I mean, and that's something also to be enjoyed and to be just viewed with grace and honestly, like, and looking at yourself through a lens of like, I'm going to get to where I want to get eventually. If I take a month off, a week off, that's really not that much time in the grand scheme of things, but it's always up to us to get the rhythm going back towards where we want it to go.
Right. That's the important thing. Like, if you dropped it, like, just pick it back up and keep going. That's the important thing, to keep going again. Yeah. So your NFTs. Now, I keep hearing the word, and I keep seeing videos of people talking about them and giving information about it. Now, I understand what it is. So I understand it's digital artwork that you can trade. And is it Ethereum that's the only one that you can trade with, or is there another one that you can trade with?
Well, most are using Ethereum. Some use Solana. There's Polygon. There's a lot of options, really.
Oh, okay. I thought it was just Ethereum, the only option. Excuse me. So how does it work, more or less?
Like the process of creating?
Yes, let's start with that. Yeah, because like I said, I want to. I mean, I hope it's, because I know you do a course as well, right? I don't want to.
Yeah.
I don't want you to teach me here. I just want you to inform me. That's what I'm looking for, just information. You see, I just want to pick your brain with that. Go ahead.
So I guess I'll start, with very basic for people listening, because I know you probably know more than the average person. NFT stands for non-fungible token.
Of course.
They're, like you said, digital assets. And really, my process was, I mean, I looked through some marketplaces for a little bit. And when I first saw them, I was like, I mean, this is some great art, but I think I can make something in here as well. Mm-hmm. And when I first started to think about that, I started to look at some projects and think, what could I do with what I have now? Because I don't have $1 million to invest into this, but what can I do to provide some value for people? And when I started thinking towards that, I was like, all my art and all my illustrations and books and stuff have a spiritual component to them. And I wanted to take that to the NFT space. Mm-hmm. So essentially, for me, I chose OpenSea.io. It's a marketplace. It's the most popular one. And that's why I chose it. Essentially, you mint it, and you're making it part of the blockchain in that minting process.
That's okay.
Yeah. And so as an artist though, or a creator, you can set royalty rates. So I have mine set at 10% right now. So I mean, I sold my first NFT the other day for around 0.02 ETH, which is like $80. But say someone were to say that buyer, which I hope to be able to create for that person, and I know I will. Say that buyer sells it for like 100,000, 10,000 or something one day, and say they sell it for 100,000. I'll make 10,000 off of that resale because I have the royalty rate at 10%. And that's why I think for creators.
Okay. So even though after you made that money after selling it to them, if they sell it for that money, you will make money as well? Now does this person,
essentially it's a contract.
Right. Now does this person have to turn around and be like, all right, here's your part, or it automatically comes to you?
Automatically. So with like the blockchain, it's set right now at 10% for me. So say they sold it for $100, I'd automatically get $10 of Ethereum into my wallet.
Okay. All right. But you are no longer the owner of that image, or are you still the owner of that NFT?
So now that person owns the unique asset. I mean, I'm under the impression that I can still go and, post it if I want and things like that. But there are certain smart contracts and stuff that people use actually, which is pretty cool. Where, so say I made a Pluto NFT, and I said in the contract, if you buy this, then you can use it on merchandise or a commercial or anything like that. Like you can use my characters. So there's different levels to what you want to do. But for me right now, it's very basic and very standard. I'm not doing any sort of coding or anything. So for me right now, it's to my belief that I can continue to use my artwork.
Excuse me. Now that image that you said that you just, so what was that? Is that the one for the metaverse that you have that I saw on your TikTok?
Yeah.
Oh, that's a nice picture.
Yeah, that's that one.
That was nice.
Thank you.
I like how you put the zeros in the back and everything, and you made it, and you put the words in the middle. It's a nice picture, and the image itself in the middle. That. No eyes. It's just listening. Yeah, I got the message from that. Yeah. You know what?
I'm glad.
That's important. Most of us are all of us, I guess I should say. Most of us. Let's not put everybody. I don't even know what I'm saying now. But I'm trying to say is most of us are not good at that. We're not good at listening. And that's another reason why I wanted to do the podcast, because I'm the worst person at listening. You tell me something right now, I'll forget a minute later. That's how it is with my wife. And she tells me something. I told you earlier. Come on. Like, I forgot. But I'm bad at listening, and I wanted to get good at listening and having conversations, because the job that I do on the regular, I do construction, so I'm a construction worker. So I do a very minimum talking to a lot of people. Now,
right,
a lot of people that know me will tell you he doesn't talk much, because I really don't. Same. I want to talk to people that I find interesting, that are learning things. And most people I'm around with, they're happy with their life, with their at, because they're not seeking to do more than what they're doing. They're just seeking for the next position to advance in whatever job they're doing. And that's not what I'm doing. Like I tell everybody, I enjoy what I do. I have fun. I have no problem getting up in the morning and going to work. But I don't want to keep doing that shit no more. I want to wake up and go drop my kids off at school and come back home and make some moves and make some money. That's the goal where I want to go. Or I want to be able to have a conversation with somebody in some way, somehow, whether it's through ads or whatever the case may be, then make some capital on that and make a profit off of that as well. That's what I'm looking for. Like I said, I enjoy what I do, but I don't want to be there. And that's another reason why, like I was saying, that I jumped into doing podcasts, because I get to talk. You get to talk to different people. You get to talk to whoever you want.
Yeah, I mean, people on just like different walks of life, and I think it's always unique though. Like me and you, we're doing very different things,
of course,
but in a way, we're doing the same thing. I mean, we're wanting to spread a positive message to others.
Yeah.
I mean, the way I see it is like if you're a creator of any type, then like it's just up to you to double down on what you want to do. I mean, like you were saying about your job, like none of us, I know, I mean, some people may, but I don't think a lot of people dream of working a 9 to 5 their whole life. And I think that people get comfortable and complacent in that process. And it's easier and it feels safer to say, instead of starting my own venture, making a podcast, making a book, I'll sit there and I'll think about getting a promotion, and that'll be where I'll put all my energy and all my effort. And what you said about, like the people, talking to people around you is difficult. I feel that 100%, because I mean, in college right now, like everyone around me, they all want to talk about getting girls or drinking. And I want to talk about NFTs and life lessons and stuff with people. Yeah. And I mean, it makes me feel like an outcast. But in the same way, it's also my biggest strength. Yeah. So I think when you realize, these parts of yourself that are different are also like, they're everything that you need to be and everything that you want to be, then like you can really embrace that shadow aspect of yourself and make it into a light.
Yeah. Yeah. Cause you know what? I like talking to people that are in different paths, but the conversations where I'm like, I have more information on, you're going to laugh, are conspiracies. So that I wouldn't say I have 100% information, but I have a lot of bro science in that. And I'll sit down here with a person that believes that the earth is flat. I don't know if we believe that or not, but I'm just saying I'll sit down with that person and have a conversation, not even a debate, just the conversation about it. And that's what I'm interested in, just seeing how people think. But where I was going with what I'm saying, that I enjoy having conspiracy conversations, is people that I work around with, they're just not into that. And when you're having a conversation with them and they're saying something, and you want to throw a little fact that or that you've heard or that you understand or whatever the case may be, or even as a joke, they're not going to understand the premise of whatever the comment is, because that's not what they're into. They're all into like, I'm going to do my job and this is my life and that's what I want to do. And it's
do my job, go home and watch Netflix.
Yeah. And there's nothing wrong with that. If that's what you want to do, well, by all means, do what you want. We're free. We can do whatever we want. But as far as growth, there has to be something that helps you grow no matter what you're doing, I think.
Absolutely. I mean, and at the end of the day, I think people have a lack of accountability. And I think that they get so comfortable that they forget that it is possible to do whatever you want. Like, it's so easy to sit in bed all day or sit on the couch all day when you get home from working your exhausting job. I mean, especially you as a construction worker, like that's physical labor. Yeah. So imagine if you can do it, then someone that works at a desk can come home and work on something, because there really is no excuse.
Just a little fact that now that you're saying that, the last 3 days it's been 12-hour days on my regular job, and I came home and sat down here and work on this like I'm doing right now. And that's why for like the weekends, I picked that I'm not gonna do this only on Saturdays. I'll give that day to my kids. Just like the whole day I'll spend it with them, because I feel bad for them. Because I'm like, I get home from work and I come in here in the garage and sit down and just do this, and I feel like I neglect them. But in reality, I guess you could say I am. But in reality, it's also teaching them a lesson. Like, follow what you want to do. Find a passion, and that's what I try to embrace to them. They're 9 and 7. So it's the time where you got to start pushing them in the path to do something other than just let them run wild. Like I don't know about you, but they let me run wild. Not in the sense like they let me go like wherever I wanted. No, they weren't telling me pick a path, do something. All their thing was like just school. And there's nothing wrong with school. I'm not saying that there's nothing wrong with school, but there's more to it than just school.
Yeah. I mean, the way I see it is like school, it is good. It's a great thing, but for everybody, it's not. I mean, the way it's set up isn't. Like school is really, it's all based on like achievement. And I really think it needs to be based more on experience, because I think if you think about school, like it's supposed to be about learning, but
Yeah.
I'm not learning anything from taking the SAT. But I learn more from doing things that I'm doing right now, like or talking with you,
Mm-hmm.
or looking up YouTube videos on how to publish a book. Like that's actual value and actual knowledge that I'm learning. And some people like us and people like entrepreneurs, I think we also learn better from experience oftentimes too. Like doing things and like posting on TikTok and all of a sudden a video blows up. Posting on Instagram, experimenting with Facebook ads. Like I don't learn well when I'm sitting there and hearing about theories on things. I learn best when I'm my hands are getting dirty and I'm experimenting on what I want to do.
I think it's the best way to learn. I mean,
Oh yeah.
I I hate to bash on math, but I don't see any x plus y equals z or something like that out in the real world. You know, I know
Right.
if you're gonna become like a scientist, I know that that's needed. Like, yeah, you should learn that if you're gonna become a scientist. But if I'm gonna be a construction worker, like, but again, most of us don't even know what we're gonna do at the time. So I guess it's kind of good that
Right.
it gets introduced, right, to see what you like. But at school, to me, it's not pushed on so you could pick a path. It's just like so you could stay in line and follow what you need to do. And that's what I think most of us were taught to do. Just follow in line
Yeah.
and just do what you need to do. And I guess that's
Continue
kind of,
like advancing.
yeah, in a way, it is good because it teaches you to have discipline in a way, right? But
Yeah.
if you look at it the other way, I guess it doesn't work. See, that's why I also like doing this because I'll say something, and as it's coming out of my mouth, I'm like, wait, that could be wrong.
No, I
Yeah.
know what you mean though. And yeah, I mean school, like the way I see it, it's like, if you're moving up one grade at a time, and if you're behind, all of a sudden you're deemed a failure.
Hmm.
But in reality, the school system might be failing you, honestly. I mean, like so many entrepreneurs and people who are creative in all types. I don't think school is made for us. I think it's made for people that, you know, want to be a lawyer, want to be a nurse, a doctor, people
Hmm.
that need to go to school and actually learn some like things that are crucial for their job. But like if I'm sitting here as an entrepreneur, I don't understand why I need to be in a English 101 class.
Right. You're not gonna be a writer per se, right?
Right, right.
Even though you are a writer and doing entrepreneurship, so so
Yeah,
it
and
might
I
have
still
been.
I still don't like writing classes.
There you go. See, it's a conflict of interest, right?
Right, right.
For sure. Yeah. So, but as far as entrepreneur, you're just looking into like crypto. Are you looking into real estate, or what else are you looking into?
I mean, honestly, I am open for everything and anything. Like, I've always hated the notion that I think it's another thing that's kind of pushed onto us when we're younger that you have to pick something and stick to it, even if you're an entrepreneur. And I mean, I made a book. I'm doing NFTs. Tomorrow, I could start a record label. Tomorrow, or the next day, I could want to do, like, I could want to own a coffee shop. Like, I'm always open to just doing whatever I feel called to do. Because I think when you listen to that calling and you follow that intuition, that's when you're going to find your success. Even if I have 22,000 followers or 20,000 followers on TikTok that want to hear me talk about NFTs. Say tomorrow I decide to switch it up and talk about shoes, and they all unfollow me. That's okay. Like it has to be, you have to be like
The shoe
humble
guy,
enough, I guess.
yeah,
To
the
be
shoe guys are gonna come right after they leave, so it's all right.
exactly. I mean, you're going out and attracting what you want. Really, that's how I see
Yeah.
it. Like you can be whatever you want. You can do a mixture of things. And I mean, for now though, I am gonna stick with crypto and NFTs.
Okay.
Um, I want to really build something special around the NFT world. Um, I'm figuring it out every single day.
Yeah. Right. Now that you're getting into NFTs, what do you think of the metaverse?
Man, that is something that is so like interesting to me. I mean, it's the way I think about it is like it's those future movies that you read about or you watch in the
Well, the
sci-fi books. Like
Matrix,
that's real now.
the movie, The Matrix.
Yeah, exactly. It literally. Um, and that's what life as a metaverse is kind of based on too. But the metaverse. So here's really my truth with the metaverse. I think it's going to be a very compelling way for people to escape. I think we have social media right now, and people spend about 50% of their time on there. Just throwing the number out there, not actual fact or anything.
Don't worry.
But let's
That's
assume
what we
it's
talk
50%.
about. Facts.
Yeah.
Those are the facts we give, so don't worry about it.
Yeah. Well, let's assume it's 50%, you know?
Right.
And then when the metaverse comes and it's in the internet and being social and all this stuff is a 3D immersive world,
right,
it's going to be, you know, 80%. So I took it upon myself, really. And the way I think about all this space is like, we need people now when it's early to make it a vessel for good in the space, to make it a place where people can develop and learn about themselves and become mindful. And that's really my goal in this space, is to use it as a way to inspire good and help people understand their true power.
Yeah, that's the thought in the perfect world, right? So that everybody gets used to that. Now, as far as I don't know if you've heard anything about this, but this is just another dumb fact that I told you. I like talking about conspiracies, right? So it is.
Oh, I can talk about them too.
All right. No, but what I was gonna say is that they say that a lot of the cartels in Mexico, they move their money in cryptocurrency and NFTs. That's where they're moving their money a lot. So do you think the government's gonna put their hands into that because of that reason? Because they could easily do that, or I mean, I don't know if they could easily do it. I don't know what the hell they could do.
Right. I mean, I don't think it'll be because of that reason. And I've heard that a lot. You know, this is a space where people just do some money laundering, and I'm sure they do. But I mean, that's the way I see it. Like, if it wasn't NFTs, it'd be something else. And if the government really cared enough, and if they really cared enough, they would do it with whatever they were doing before NFTs came along.
Well, they were. That's the thing, though.
Really? Okay, I didn't know that.
No, well, they were doing. The cartels were money laundering before even NFT. That's what I meant.
Yeah. Exactly. And I mean, the way I think about it is like as it develops, it's going to become more mainstream, and it's going to be way more than just that. I mean, I'm sure people were money laundering on the internet when it first came out in some ways, and NFTs are really just the next step of it, and it's so early right now, so people may be doing that, and I mean that's their business, and I hope not to come across any of them.
right
But yeah,
like we were talking about earlier, like you stay in your path, and whatever comes your way, then you know, that either whether it's good or bad. If it's good, keep it. If it's bad, you know, just push it out of the way. That's how I think. It's not. I don't have any questions on that. It was just like something I thought of, like the people were doing, like now. Anyways, but yeah, the NFTs, it's something that I still don't get to jump into because, like I said earlier, I have no clue how to make it or where to buy them. I know I've recently learned of one. It's now I'm lying because I forgot the name of it, but it's I think I have it written down here. Oh man. I don't. Oh yeah, I do. MetaMask, right? Is that, do you use MetaMask or is that the one you mentioned earlier?
Yep, that's what I use. MetaMask. Okay. It's very easy. I mean, there's even a phone app for people that don't have like a laptop or anything. I recommend using a laptop, but it's so easy to connect to a marketplace, and you can buy Ethereum like that.
Oh, okay. All right. That one I just found out about this week because, like I said, I kept hearing about it, but I was like, next video. Next video. The usual, you know. Well, usually what I like, but like I use the excuse I spend a lot of time on TikTok is it's for the reason that I do the podcast. I try to find like I said, if I see a video that somebody made and I thought it was interesting, the video they made or the comments that they made in the video, like, and I want to talk to them, I'm like, oh, I want to talk to this person. I'll send them a message, see what they say. And there's nothing like, I don't want to be rude or anything, but I didn't do any deep research about you or what you do or anything like that. That's why I was like, you're only into NFTs. I didn't even know you were a author, you know, which is, it's great to know now that you do that because it's something that I had in the back of my mind. Like, maybe I could write a book, but what the hell am I going to write a book about? You know, there's plenty of things, I guess, now, you know, now that I'm saying it out loud, I'm thinking, well, there's plenty of things that you can write about. But if I wouldn't have had this conversation, that thought would have probably never came out of my mouth, you know, or my head, or wherever you want to see that it comes from.
Yeah. And I
Yeah.
mean, everything happens for a reason. And
Yeah.
I mean, I'm like, if you ever want to talk about the process of publishing, like the way I see it, like if you have a book idea, then there's no excuse not to make one. I mean, not like coming at you or anything. I know you have
Yeah.
like a million ideas,
Oh
but like
man.
for people that are listening,
The
like
only
people that are listening,
problem.
if they have that,
Go ahead. I'm
my
sorry.
bad, you go.
No, no, no. Go ahead. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Okay,
I cut you off. I'm sorry. I apologize.
you're good. You're good. No, you're good. I was just gonna say for people that are listening, like if they have that one idea, and you know you've had it for like a long time, and there's no reason not to publish it on somewhere cheap.
Right.
That's how I see it.
Right. You know, what you said earlier, that you know that I have a lot of ideas. Yes, I have a lot of ideas. The only problem is I never write them down. And then I'm over here like, wait, I had this idea. What was it? What was it? It's just gone and it'll never come back. Sometimes they do come back, you know, but for the most part, they're gone. And when I write down the ideas that I get, I feel like it makes me accountable, like to look more into it. Yeah, for the most part, but for other times, it's just like I'll write it down and I'll just keep it there, because it probably wasn't as important as other ideas. And my other problem is that for the most part, it takes me forever to jump into it, and that's another thing. Like podcasts, for example, I've said it before, but I'll say it again. In 2014 is when I found out about podcasts. In 2016, I was like, all right, I'm gonna do podcast. So I went and I bought me some microphones that I could hook up to my phone, because I didn't have anything to do anything. I didn't even have a laptop. All I had was a phone. So I got me some small microphones, and that's what I was using. What I tried to use, because in that I used to take them to work just with the excuse that I was going to practice. But in a couple of weeks after I had got them, I lost the microphones. I didn't know where they were, and the thought of podcasting went away again. And again in 2019, like around May, that's when I got the itch again, because I kept listening to podcasts, right? But I just dreaded the work that it was going to take to learn. But in 2013, like I was saying, in May, I picked it back up, and I was like, I want to do it again. So I bought me another set of mics. And then like around October, I reconnected with an old friend, and you know, he was telling me that he was also in the path of an entrepreneur and trying to look for something to do, trying to find his path as well. And he kind of held me accountable. He's all like, all right, put a date. When are you going to drop your first episode? And he's all like, and I'll be your first guest. And, you know, that's how we did it. And ever since December 2019, every week I dropped at least 2 episodes, except like the last 2 months. I've been really lagging it a lot, because like I said, I got that imposter syndrome that's getting to me right now. But I'm trying to push it away. You know, I just like I said, if I drop it, I'm just going to pick it up wherever I left it off. And whatever happens, happens. And I was going to mention earlier, you said something, I forgot what was along the lines of, but I was going to say that I heard a saying in the past that it takes 10,000 hours to become a pro at anything. So that's how I'm seeing it. That's how I'm seeing it. I'm just putting in my hours. Yeah. Every episode I make, I get closer to it. But then again, I also enjoy creating content for like TikTok. And a lot of the times I second guess myself, and I'm like, this is not good, and I'll just delete whatever I've recorded, and it just goes away, and I just don't do it. And it goes back to what we were talking about earlier, imposter syndrome. That to have that, I mean, like you said, everybody has it, but to let it get to you, it's the bad that I guess most of us do.
Yeah. I mean, the way I see it is like the first thing that people learn on their entrepreneurial journey of whatever it is. And I'm sure you know this too. Like that, the first thing you learn is that the first step is the hardest. And once you take that first step, it gets a million times easier.
Yeah.
Even if throughout the process it gets way harder, it's still like you feel different. You feel a difference within yourself, and you know that you had the courage to do it. And going back to TikTok, like I was you know, I was so afraid to post on TikTok for the longest. And I mean, now I've been on there for 2, 3 months and I have 20,000 followers. Like on the other side of my fear was everything that I was going for, really. All my goals, like
Right.
I always wanted to, for the past couple of years, I was working to build a base, a following. And I go on TikTok for 2 months and I have it. So like at the end of that fear and at the end of taking that first step, I remember after my first video, I was like, this felt right. And I could hear my voice shaking. I could see the nervousness in my eyes, but like I knew that the more I go, the better I'll be. And it's happened in a way.
Yeah, yeah, that's right. Yeah, because like I said, like right now, I dropped it for a month and I just jumped right back into it. It was easy for me to start jumping in. Like I said, I lost my touch a little, but it was
Hmm.
easier to do it than the first time. Because like I told you earlier, it took me a recording of 2 hours. I only got like 30 minutes out of it. So
Yeah.
yeah.
But like even when you take that break, it almost creates another first step. Like I've taken breaks with illustrating, and I'm kind of in one right now with a book that I've been working on. And the second that you go back to it is the second that like it starts to snowball again, and things start working out however they're gonna.
Mm. Yeah. Yeah, that's the important thing though, to pick it back up, whatever goal you have in mind. Even if you dropped it,
Hmm.
just pick it back up wherever you left off, and just hope for the best, because you never know. Like the thing is, it's just keep working at it, because you never know if, like you said earlier, if you're just one video away to your from getting from where you are to where you want to start going to.
Yeah, yeah, and I mean, like anything, you know, there's gonna be more problems. Which honestly,
Right.
I think we call problems. I think they're just situations that we label as problems. But like, you know, the second I all of a sudden, you know, I blew up a little bit on TikTok, then my social anxiety was like, what the heck just happened? I have 10,000 people who are watching me. Like, what am I doing? And
Right.
I mean, even on podcasts, I took a little break from talking on podcasts, and my social anxiety crept back in and was saying, you know, it's easier not to. So why don't you just chill a little bit and play Xbox all night? But like anything, like we've been talking about, it is you just have to do it and 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 understand that voice in your head and listen to it and not necessarily listen to it, but like feel it, but also know that you're not. That's not you. Those are limiting beliefs that were in a way put onto you.
Right. Yeah. And it's part of would it be trauma that you went through as a kid that gives you those doubts, right? I mean, whatever
Hmm.
challenges you embarked as a kid, and whatever those challenges did to you, that's what does it to you as an adult. And
Yeah,
but you don't know
there's
it at the time.
so much knowledge in our childhoods.
Yeah, you know what? I noticed it with my kids, because kids are very good at learning things, especially when they're like in their like between like 4, 5, 6, 7, around there. They pick
Hmm.
things up quick. It's not
Yeah,
an issue for them. Like,
sponges.
yeah, clear. That's what I've learned with having kids. But yeah. Uh, what about you? Said you like conspiracies, right? Wait, but let the one that's like right now. It's La Palma. Do you know about that one? The volcano?
Mm-mm. What's that one? No,
Oh,
I've never heard that one.
well, this is recent. There's a volcano that's exploding in La Palma in the Canary Islands in Spain. So the volcano has exploded, and they think it was man-made.
Really?
Yeah, but because the way the earthquake, you know how in the map they can show you the map and where the earthquakes are happening. I don't know if you knew about that. Well, in that area, there is like a specific pattern made by the earthquakes. So there's like dots like in a certain pattern, but everybody's saying that that's natural. But if you go look at other parts of the planet where is a seismic activity is happening,
Hmm.
there's no patterns. There's just like they're everywhere,
Hmm.
and but on the island there's like an actual pattern. Like it looks like a box
Really?
and like kind of an arrow, but it just looks weird. I didn't know if you've heard about that. I just
No, I
thought,
actually haven't. But
yeah, that's
the
happening.
thing
Oh,
about conspiracies,
go on.
the thing about conspiracies that is really like intriguing to me is I think it's that people that kind of like enjoy them are people that know that we don't know the truth of our reality. And I think that we know like that the people that are, in power, for lack of a better term or phrase, that they know things that we don't, and they might do things that we don't, and we would never know. And I always think like there's so much more that we don't know, even though everyone thinks they know everything. There's so much that we don't know. And I mean, like any conspiracy could be right, and they all could be wrong. Who knows? They're theories, but
you know what's
they're so
crazy?
interesting to me.
Yeah, I know. You know what's crazy? I don't know if you know the Epstein thing right now, right? That's happened. Do you know about that one?
Yeah, I've heard a little bit about that.
Well, back in the 90s, it was only a conspiracy that there was an island where the elite went to do whatever they did over there in that island with Epstein, right? That was only a conspiracy. Now look what it turned out, that it was real. And it wasn't only him. I don't know if you know, there in Canada, there's another guy, I forgot his name, but it's another rich guy that's like millionaire type of dude that apparently he was like probably worse than Epstein.
Really?
Yeah, because he would impregnate the girls, the young girls, and have them have an abortion so he could get the fetus out and freeze the mother cells so he could inject them in himself to keep staying young.
Wow.
Yeah,
that's just absurd.
Yeah, so those type of things that are the things that's why I find entertainment in conspiracies. Because, you hear about these things that have happened and now they turned out to be real, Yeah. And
you never know.
Yeah, it's the reptilians that aren't letting you be smart and entrepreneur, dude. That's what it is. I was
thinking about that one earlier, too.
It's the reptilians. Oh, yeah, no. I enjoy having them. I just find interest in how people think and see them. And I don't know. The first time I heard about conspiracies, it was some old guy that was telling me and a group of other people that I was with at the time that in the 70s the U.S. Army had touch screen, and they had it in their equipment, but in the 70s there was no touch screen available for anyone. Right. Hell, there was barely any color TV, right? It was yellow TV probably at the time. So it's crazy to know how the things that they had in the past and now they're available to us. Conspirational, I guess, but I don't know if it's true or not. I enjoy having them. But anyways, back to the entrepreneur. So your goal is, what's your goal? To me, my goal I'm talking about like lifestyle wise, it's to be able to go to a restaurant and not worry about the bill. That's the goal that I'm looking for. Now, I'm not looking to be a millionaire. That's not my goal. I'm looking to find something that's gonna be profitable and I'm gonna have fun. And I'm, like I said, I'm not gonna worry about the bill. It's that kind of like the path that you're searching for, or are you looking for those trillion, or what are you looking for? If you don't mind the question.
No, I love this question, actually. I'll be honest. I mean, I am looking to, me and my friend always talk about this. Like, financial freedom is phase one. After that, it's about what we do with that. And the way I see it, I want to change the status quo in a way, and popularize some concepts and things like that we've been talking about today, and make it more well known. And in that process, also make money, because I think money is social proof. I think if you have a lot of money, then people will say like, oh, wow, this person knows a lot, even if that's not the case. Yeah. But my goal really is, I want to reach financial freedom. And then from there, I want to make some sort of company, or just at least continue doing what I'm doing with my name and my brand. And essentially, I want to go down as the greatest creative entrepreneur of all time. Awesome. I know I'm a dreamer. It's very ambitious, but we'll be looking back on this one day and I'll be like, yep, called it.
Yep. You got to shoot high. Otherwise, I was having this conversation last week, I think, with another gentleman. He's also an entrepreneur. He's got his own business that he made selling microgreens, and Yeah, and he was also talking about like I completely lost my train of thought right now. Seriously, I did. I had a point to where I was going with that, but I was talking to that gentleman too, that he was talking about also the mindset of what to look. Oh, that's what I was saying. He was saying that he's shooting for the stars because he knows that he'll at least land in the moon. And from there on, whatever happens from there, that's when he, go to the next step if you didn't get to where you wanted to be. So, yeah,
absolutely.
I'm very bad at having conversation. That's another reason why I wanted to do this, because I want to get good at this. So, but I'm working on it. And anyways, I really appreciate your time. I really had a really fun time having this conversation with you. And, in the beginning, you didn't mention your social medias. So please,
yeah.
We got into the conversation. I was going to bring it back to that, and I completely forgot. But please plug your social medias in. Please.
It's all good, for sure. And I'd like to start off by saying you are amazing at having conversations, and thank you for having me on.
Thank you. I really appreciate
that. My of course. My social media though is just at Calebkynard, CalebKynard. That's across all platforms: Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, LinkedIn. And you can just look up Calebkynard. Facebook, I don't really use Facebook, not gonna lie. So Instagram, TikTok, Twitter are really the best places to find me.
All right, awesome. And with that being said, man, I really, really appreciate you giving me this conversation, and that's it, man. I really appreciate it, and I want to have this conversation again because I really had fun with you, and maybe in the future we can set up another ones and take it from there.
Absolutely. I mean, whenever you know where to reach me, DM, and we'll get it going. Yeah,
I got your email now. Yeah, so definitely.
Yeah, exactly.
But anytime you got something new going on and you want to share it, I come back on and we'll go from there too. I really appreciate it. I
appreciate that.
Thank you, though. I really appreciate that. All right, we'll stay in touch.
For sure.
All right, goodbye. Anyways, that was awesome. Ooh, see, we learned something new today where to go to get some NFTs. Now the video's gone, and I got to figure something else out. But that's it for today, and this is our 2 cents.